Ryan just kept as is. He brought in his own personal makeup, Yana Carboni. So we just kept him basically as Ryan, which is what he wanted. Obviously, he undergoes quite a lot of injuries and things throughout the filming, but generally it was just kind of as he was in the first film. And Salma, we had ideas for flashbacks and sort of discussions, but she predominantly wanted to keep that same sort of Sonia look, that same hair with the pink bits. So we basically just kind of kept them as they were. We had a bit more leeway with flashbacks, you know, bring her hair down, or there's a bit where she wears a wig, so we were able to pull in some different looks, but always to try and keep that height in her crown, basically to give her the lift and the Sonia look. And then Sam, again, just all the tattoos again, so I was trying to remember exactly where they all went. It was a bit of a conundrum, but no. So yeah, I did print up some extra ones in case he wanted some more, but there wasn't much room left on his hands and arms, so I just kept them as is, really. Especially as it was just taken over from the first film, the looks were already established. So from the first film, I'd had a lot of discussions with Sam, because that was kind of his idea, were the ravens. So sort of going back to the first HITMAN'S Bodyguard, there was loads of discussions with him about, and we had loads and loads of tests about how big the birds should be, you know, should they just be small ones, and then made up a whole backstory about them all, that every bird signifies a kill as a hitman, so kind of reckoned its whole body would be covered in them, and yeah, so they did a lot of input and what they like, what they're happy with as well, because ultimately it's them that's going in front of the camera. So just making sure that they were happy with, and Ryan again with all the different, where the wounds were, where the injuries were, just keep them happy, but also get the point across of what we're trying to do. When I first read the script, I was like, oh God, kept thinking Donald Trump, and I was like, no, what am I going to do? And then I had a meeting with Patrick, and he was like, no, I want him really full on, you know, like, and we got reference pictures of sort of various characters that kind of had that look, and I ended up photoshopping, cutting hair off loads of different people and photoshopping them onto a picture of Antonio to try and work out what colour would work. And I kind of didn't want to make him look ridiculous because it's Antonio Banderas, you know. I don't want to make him look like a complete idiot. But yeah, and then we just came up, we had some wig fittings, spoke to him about what he thought. He was well up for, you know, it being quite flamboyant. So rather than it being that dyed blonde, we kept him so he'd obviously maybe had highlights, and you know, he was very groomed. We kept him at that look, but it did evolve. It was a real work in progress. It was great fun, because at some points we had huge big sort of quiffs with swirls and stuff, and it was like they looked amazing, but they were just a bit too much, you know. So, and then just a bit of tanning and just keep him looking quite groomed and perfect and flawless. But he loved it, and he just played the character really well. The minute we put the wig on, he was sort of came to life and made it work. So it was good, yeah, really good.